pulling people in and whoever can work with us here. I'm going to go ahead and call Weasel up. Weasel Patterson just released his new book called Ashes to Burn from our press, Transcend Zero Press. He's in here to read about whatever the hell he likes. Hopefully it'll be something relevant. It might not be, but if it isn't, you will still clap because I will make you. Anyway, Weasel Patterson, come on up. You're up.
Please don't make me clap. Alright, first piece I'm going to do is called Philosophy. It's actually been rewritten from its original version. The original version is actually in the book Ashes to Burn, but it needed to be revised a little bit. Piggly. Piggly Wiggly. Piggly, Wiggly, Squiggly, Wings. What an odd combination of words. I doubt there's anyone here that can tell me what it means. And before anyone jumps out of their chair in enlightenment, yes, I know what they mean. I'm the one that gave them meaning. The one that took pen to paper and said that these words were as holy as the Bible itself. No offense. Words are just words, stretching from our tongues, meanings outsourced. Only we are from a whole other universe. There's still days where we can't even understand ourselves. We throw words like knives, expect people's skin to get thicker, but our skin is not a wall to keep us from going over the edge. When I was first called a faggot, I felt every letter from that word. The T was the first flesh wound draped across my cheek. I was less of a human, made into a wandering skin suit, dancing panic attacks to get through the hallways. I still remember cigarette burns on the floor, the prayers unanswered, the ambience of patience. Piggly flop, piggly stop, piggly drop, nothing. Now, I know that you all have questions. That's why you're looking at me like I'm crazy. But it's not crazy to believe that words are collected by every one of us. Only words are words. The meanings are of an entirely different universe, and there's still days where we can't even understand them. Alright, this next one is called Falling Among the Stars. It's for a guy I know who's no longer with us. There's an apology sitting along the footsteps of my spine. Its words make their home in my veins, sprouting roots to paper in hopes that it will one day mingle with your blood. That it will one day light itself on fire to stimulate the poetry that's been lost between the silos of your ribcage. You dripped morphine into your flesh, told me that it kept you alive, that it kept the sun from burning your skin. I watched as road maps in your eyes slowly diminished. Vagabond roads turned to shattered alleyways in the rain. Fears subsided into the abyss with each muzzling shot. You stared at the moon, asked me about the waters along her surface, how the stars were sprawled out among the background. Told you they were simply her oceans, escaping the craters that lay naked above us. How I wish I could squeeze the venom from your body, hang you along the clothesline, and watch you come back anew. But I'm merely human. I can only wrap myself around you like weeds in hopes that you were sober enough to keep from following the ghosts in the sky. But you were already there, lingering like cigarette smoke, drifting with the clouds. This next piece is called Liminality, and really it focuses on just coming out. And coming out is just one of the hardest things you can do with your friends and your family because you never know how they're going to take it. So this is just sort of detailing that. Lemon apple. My family never believed in forgiveness. They only chattered about exile because such warmth could not be afforded. There's too much earth in my heart, too much dirt collecting between the veins as its beat suits burnt pages from tattered memoirs that I never wanted to remember. My closet never had a door, but it was still easy to hide the scars away from knowing that love had fallen too far from the edge. I never had the right to sorrow. Realized that being fair to oneself was not the same as being alive. That poems were simply the prayers that told me there was still another sunrise. That it took only a little heat to understand that ashes are not permanent. Take the pages kept hidden. The piece of yourself locked in boxes. Toss them into the world. Draw a heart on your hand and show them that we are not that different. That love isn't always a mistake. This next piece is called Atonement. To our Father in heaven, hallowed be our children. Keep them safe, keep them drugged. Allow their bodies the strength to let the overflow of morphine run in their blood. The feeling of being alive should never be found. We manufacture super soakers with live ammunition marketed to kids. It's never too late to stay on target, to play future soldier and accidentally get a little blood on the driveway. Mistakes happen, and some blood washes away. Jesus died for our mistakes. Eat of his body so there's no worry about taking a dive into the ocean's salt, filled with the empty shells of the dead. Ghosts can still leave tears behind before something rips them away. True atonement is a dying art, barely breathing since the scriptures began spreading chapters in legislation. On our knees, we spread our arms in prayer to feel the wisdom, to feed our addiction, and keep tossing new body bags and dumpsters for fear of what's real, for fear of understanding. This is called Preventive. He pops candy from a Pez dispenser once a day, swallows the hard strawberry with vanilla substance whole with a small glass of water, like his mom taking her meds to avoid the noise of another hour. Some nights he dreams he'll have her headaches when he's older, so Dr. Teddy gave him something to take the stress away. Take the ride on sunset. Tattoo fingers on my chest to cover the gashes from the day I stopped believing in miracles. My bones were too different, and for every year of color brought another burn to my skin because I never wanted to change. Sometimes the heart is too shy to meet the earth waiting to greet it underneath this body. Take my ashes, toss them into the lawn seats of the next big rock concert because they've had too much coffee to be drowsy. Let the people twist and stumble over my spine, helping me to lose sight of the world. We are all jumping for an answer, only we don't speak the same language as the sky. Thunder can only grace our ears before a few more souls are born because they've lost their vibrance. Someone forgot to tell them that some days you have to plunge into the ecstasy to see where love had escaped to. Some of the body bags we carry have too much weight in their hearts. Guilt is only a verb if you let it be, and there are days where we all wish that it could be. For being good is only a part of life. Being whole is the ability to experience it. Got enough for two more? Or?
Do it.
Okay. This next one is called Byzantium. And again, it's about some dude I know who's actually no longer with us. He was the only cancer who wanted more than to be someone's sex toy. Hair lashing his face as the breeze rushed through the buildings he passed by. It appeared the stranger had been waiting at the end of his lifetime for a long while. The wrinkles on his face formed road maps to wishes that died in the cavern of this man's memories. Wishes of nowhere. He never walked in beauty, only with beauty when he could afford the grace to do so. He was never loved, and no one ever told him he needed to love to keep his mind from wandering away from the clutches of sanity. So he picked up whoever he could, a few anonymous sperm donors to keep him company in the late hours of the morning, carrying him off into the stairs of his apartment. There are ghosts in the air that wait around to hear the novels of our weeping. They caught his tears, helping him to build a metropolis of forgiveness inside him. He granted their mercy all too often because everything about him was absolution. Taste of his flesh and drink of his body, sins of his companions cleansed away in one full climax. Confession is over at dawn. At night, he still dreams of walking off into the only Mecca he can feel, the only place that continues to die off inside him. Nowhere. My last one is called Street City Blues. It's in 3 parts. The dreamers have all left. They dove into her abyss last night, allowed morphine to strangle wet dreams into their veins. We're all so appreciative of strange donations, never realizing the danger of strings that snag themselves along for the ride. That's what God intended, to control without using control. We are all children, grasping at the mana of our death, wishing that today would regress into an older age. Who marched upon Wall Street, wishing to change the new low price of the higher-ups. Social media flattened with angry mobs, filled with hopes that have been wasting in the backs of our skulls, posted in case we didn't feel like showing up. America has just enough acid in her. Squeeze every last drop of liberty over the penniless, who promote real rights of the people, who try to remove the price tag from our bodies. She must protect the core of American values. Gatsby is so far lost. The earth is rancid now. We've fallen into the same trap again, the trap of fiscal responsibility, the trap for money. We manufacture peace symbols and t-shirts, super soakers to protect privacy of our property, only to watch a 5-year-old shoot up their friends and siblings because death is an American right. It's unfortunate that the government is merely open for business, what money it will take to make it private. Blood is what makes the grass grow. It's what keeps the heart of the country beating as it does today. The massive, veiny beast quaking as it fed cigarettes and grease while the people ignore the overtime for videos of twerking kittens. It's all too easy to find distractions. Our veins run with mixtures of Vicodin and aspirin while our televisions hand us the next top model. The nature of politics is merely an accompaniment impolite to bring up anymore. Politically correct is how the spine is ripped from our voices. We are all burning for an answer. We simply don't know how to ask, while the ones who can present the question are ignored as simple artists for attention. But really, flag burners are attention seekers, while the poets are prophets. Praise Hosanna, the bullet has been dodged. The heart attack has not happened yet. The past is simply a superior time. The past of being slaves and learning to overcome racism as simply being hidden behind closed-door conversations at the dinner table. We had prophets then, prophets who were with us, held our hand as we learned from the mistakes we'd love to forget. But the absence of history leads us into the cycle again. To argue that it is not important is to argue for ignorance. Freedom meant something. News meant something. Journalism was more than 160 characters posted every second, and so few words, headlines tell stories. But that's who we are, headlines. There's a blindfold over our brains. The attention spans we carry can only handle a couple seconds of information before moving on to the next big thing, if, and only if, we can afford it. But that is merely part of the problem. We're all focused on the past. The future will never see our faces. It'll only see what's left of us, maybe put us out of our own self-destructive existence. We'll have forgotten ourselves by then. We'll be the new cult next door, laid out as examples of what happens to convenience. We drive the nails through the earth's palms, and that is the stigmata we carry. Thank you.